Hi, boys and girls. So, we've been reading stories that are Native American legends. We read a story by Paul Goebel, and that was about the natives that lived in the middle of our country in the Great Plains. You remember that that area is basically a grassland, doesn't have many trees. Then we read Raven, a trickster tale, and this was by Gerald McDermott, and that's about Native Americans in the Pacific Northwest, up where it's colder in the areas like Alaska and even parts of Canada. And those Native Americans do not have as much sunlight in the winter, so sometimes the sun, further north you go, doesn't rise, and so the whole winter can be very dark for them. Today we're going to read another McDermott story, and this is a Pueblo Indian tale. And the Pueblo lived in the southwest part of the United States. This area over here, Arizona, New Mexico, that area is mostly desert. It's very sandy. You're not going to find trees to build houses. And so they made their homes out of something called adobe. And adobe is when you mix sand with something like straw and water and clay, which clay is in the earth. You can dig down and get clay in the soil, and you mix those together and you shape them into bricks, like rectangles, and then you put them in the sun to dry. It's a lot warmer there and there's a lot less water. So, Arrow to the Sun, a Pueblo Indian tale. And I really do think that this has very nice art in it. Mr. McDermott won the Caldecott Award for this book, and this is an award given to the best picture book of the year. And Arrow to the Sun won. Long ago, the Lord of the Sun sent the spark of life to Earth. So there's the Lord of the Sun sending the spark of life to Earth. It traveled down the rays of the sun through the heavens, and it came to the Pueblo. There it entered the house of a young maiden. In this way, the boy came into the world of man. Let's see, this is him when he's a baby. He has that symbol on him from the sun, and here he is grown. Does this remind you of a story you may have heard before? You know, a lot of cultures sort of worship the sun because the sun is the source for all energy on our planet. If it weren't for the sun shining on the plants and helping them to make food, then we wouldn't have plants to eat or plants to feed animals. Without plants, there is no food. And without the sun, there pretty much are no plants. So life does in many ways come from the sun, doesn't it? He lived and grew and played in the Pueblo, but the other boys would not let him join their games. "Where is your father?" they asked. "You have no father." They mocked him and chased him away. The boy and his mother were sad. "Mother," he said one day, "I must look for my father. No matter where he is, I must find him." So the boy left home. Now the Pueblo is the name of the tribe, but it's also the name of their home. The adobe structures. He traveled through the world of men and came to Corn Planter. "Can you lead me to my father?" he asked. Corn Planter said nothing, but continued to tend his crops. The boy went to Potmaker. Can you lead me to my father? Asked the boy. Potmaker said nothing, but continued to make her clay pots. Then the boy went to Arrowmaker, who was a wise man. Can you lead me to my father? Arrowmaker did not answer, but because he was wise, he saw that the boy had come from the sun, so he created a special arrow. The boy became the arrow. The only way, I guess, to get to his father. So here's the boy becoming the arrow. Arrowmaker fitted the boy to his bow and drew it. The boy flew into the heavens, and this way the boy traveled to the sun. I love this picture. I think it's beautiful. You see the boy? When the boy saw the mighty Lord, he cried, "Father, it is I, your son." "Perhaps you are my son," the Lord replied. "Perhaps you are not. You must prove yourself. You must pass through the 4 chambers of ceremony. The kiva of lions, the kiva of serpents, the kiva of bees, and the kiva of lightning." Well, those all sound very scary. The boy was afraid. "Father," he said, "I will endure these trials." So here you can see. These are the kivas. Lightning, serpents, lions. So he went into the lions, now he's up and he's going into the next one. He got out of there and now he's going into the cave of bees. See him going down into it? Last one. Kiva of lightning. When the boy came from the kiva of lightning, he was transformed. He was filled with the power of the sun. The father and his son rejoiced. "Now you must return to earth, my son, and bring my spirit to the world of men." Once again, the boy became the arrow. When the arrow reached the earth, the boy emerged and went to the pueblo. The people celebrated his return in the dance of life. Do you notice what's behind here? Do you know what these are? Those are corn plants. Corn is a very important part of the Pueblo people's diet. Do you think there might be a reason why they celebrate the sun? The end. So the sun would have been an important part of the Pueblo's culture because they used the sun's energy to grow their food. And, you know, because it's pretty desert-like out there, it was probably a lot of work. So it was a very good thing that they had the sun that helped the plants grow, and then they would have to probably carry water and things like that to keep things growing. I'm not real familiar with the southwestern Indian tribes, the Native Americans of the southwestern United States over here. I know more about the plains. Native Americans because those are the ones that I've always heard about. However, there were so many different kinds of cultures, even in just the Southwest. But I think that it's interesting that they have a legend about the sun, especially when you think about how hot it was. But it can also cool down, and without the sun's energy, they wouldn't have been able to grow their crops. So that's an important thing to a tribe. I hope you have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.